my children of the cornbread. Oh, that's not right. This video is for Marc of Horror's Thanksgiving contest. I don't know if that's what it was called, but that's what I'm calling it in this video. Because I don't have time to look it up. I'm on a tight schedule. I will put a link in the description. I only recently subscribed to his channel, and he's really a lot of fun. He has very cool collections of stuff, and he makes great videos, so if you haven't checked out his channel, you should do that, and sub! The question he wants us to answer is, what's a horror movie that you share with your family? Like, I guess either a horror movie that you watch with someone in your family, or I guess if you don't have anybody in your family that likes horror, you can, make some other kind of connection. So I've said before that I had older cousins when I was younger, like in elementary school, that would take me to see horror movies in the theater. But nowadays, the only people in my family that like horror movies that I know of are my sister and my cousin Holly, who is one of the people that introduced me to a lot of my favorite horror movies. She loved horror movies growing up, and she had an uncle who also loved horror movies, and he would loan her VHS tapes all the time of movies he collected or taped off a satellite. That being said, I'm going to go with something very commercial because I wanted to pick something that I've watched with both my sister and my cousin. So I'm going to go with Halloween 4, which is kind of the first movie I saw in the franchise. I say kinda because when I was in middle school, my friend Alicia that lived down the road, I spent the night at her house one time, and her older brother rented Halloween for us, but we didn't know how to adjust the tracking, or maybe the tape was dirty, but we ended up losing the picture very early on in the movie, and she ended up going to bed after a little while, but I sat up and listened to the whole thing and was scared to death, even though I didn't know what was going on. Halloween 4 I saw in high school over at my cousin Holly's house. I remember being terrified of it, and I didn't really have any knowledge of the previous movies to influence my opinion. Ellie Cornell was really likable. I've heard people say that her character was boring, but I don't see that. I really liked her. Danielle Harris was really good, she wasn't annoying like some child actors are. So I really liked them together. I found them really believable. It was the first Halloween movie that I owned on VHS, and I think probably as a result of that, that's probably the first one my sister saw. And we got to see it in the theater, just one of those Fathom Events things where they projected off of Blu-ray or DVD or something. But it wasn't playing at our regular theater, so we had to drive to Shreveport, which, if you know me, I don't like to drive in Shreveport's not like a huge city, I guess, but it's bigger than Texarkana, which is where we usually go. It's about an hour away, and at the time it was one of the highest, violent crime per capita cities in the United States. It was number 3 or something. But it ended up being fine. We got there no problem. But unfortunately, my sister ended up getting sick, so we didn't get to stay for part 5. But it was really cool to get to see part 4 in the theater. And, I'm not really the biggest fan. Yeah, so that is my answer. I will put a link in the description to Marc of Horror's channel. You should go check him out if you haven't. Yeah, cheers. Thanks a lot.